All right, everybody. Welcome on the block with Jen. Let's get right to it. There are a lot of little snippets and bits of stories I want to cover. Okay. Although the topic is Atlanta airport brawl, fired female employee fights managers. I know some of you are not comfortable with the word female. Work it out amongst yourselves. That is the headline on several different platforms. That's the headline we're using tonight until we get this woman's name. Okay. But there are a couple of little things that I did want to cover, Lily. First and foremost, honey, the color purple flop.
Yes, it did well in the first week. They broke all this, like these box office success and
Okay.
everything like that. And then it went downhill from there. At the second week opened very low numbers and it just dwindled from the second week down. So I think the excitement for the initial opening, people wanted to support and they came out in droves.
Mm-hmm.
But those were the ones they all came out in the first week. So people are blaming Oprah. People are blaming Taraji.
Oh,
People are blaming just the fact that people are over those types of movies portraying
okay.
Black people in the downtrodden, la la la. Like that story's been beaten in the. So there's a lot of blame to go around. Okay.
Yeah.
They're saying that Taraji, she
Derailed.
right, with her cries and her tears. And they
Yeah.
were saying with Oprah, because this was like Harpo Studios opportunity to kind of redeem themselves, because I wasn't aware that like the last few Oprah movies that she released to the box office, none of them did well. So that's
Okay.
why Harpo hasn't been producing movies in recent years. But this was like, she felt like she had a surefire one with this one. Um,
Okay.
but it didn't work out. So, in my personal opinion, I don't feel
Mhm.
like it was Oprah. I just feel like it's the story. I think that people are just over that particular story. I don't think that story doesn't work in this society. That's all.
I like what you said. There's a lot of blame to go around, but I think the biggest thing is people are tired of those stories, and I'm glad they are. A lot of people. First of all, a Christmas a Christmas drop is big, period. A lot of people go to the movies on Christmas. It's a big release date, right? It's a big release date. So pretty much you can't go wrong on Christmas dropping a film. So, they probably banked on that. And that's probably the numbers that they got. People normally they go to the movies on Christmas. I don't know why. I wouldn't, but I don't know why. That's what they do. So, but, I agree with you. A lot of little things probably, it was probably the perfect storm, but I'm like, Taraji's crying tour didn't help. I thought that was ridiculous, and it took the attention away from the film because it put it on her and what she's not getting paid, and people forgot what platform she was on talking about what. The story became about her not getting paid and not getting driven to and fro. Um, Also, people are sick and tired. I'm sick and tired. I'm glad they're sick and tired. The storyline is fucking tired. You know what I mean? Seeing Black people depicted as people who don't look a certain way, can't talk English. You thought would beat me. I heard Fantasia's running around with her jaw cocked out through the whole thing, looking terrible and so miserable, begging. I can't even
Oh,
imagine. I can't even imagine what Fantasia was doing in that film, but I
it's
had a pretty good feeling.
well, my imagination is to be bubblegum.
Yes, I saw the meme, as a matter of fact. They said Fantasia
Maybe
throughout the whole movie, and it was a picture of Bubba Gump. And I'm just like, who wants to sit through that misery, through that pain, the misery and the beatings and the abuse? And, you want to sit there and watch this. Also, I think that celebrities, bigwig producers, because remember, studios, Oprah said this isn't this, I'm just a producer on it. There are a lot of producers on it. We're not the studio. We're not the studio. That was her response for Taraji complaining about the car, her not getting the car, her not getting the pay. Oprah was like, it's like 10 of us producing this, but we are not the studio. You have to take that up with the studio. I did my best to, campaign for you guys. When you had a complaint, I make sure the needs were met. And she probably did that on some GP. right? Because she knows these women and she's looking out for these women, but she didn't have to do it. And I think people don't understand how business works, right? You don't have to. If you're just a producer on a film, you don't have to cape for the actors. You don't have to cape for the actors. So she did that, I think, on some GP, like, okay, I've invited you to my home. I know who you are. Let me fix this for you because they'll listen to me. I'm Oprah. So it's funny her getting blamed. And I'm like, people refuse, speaking of Oprah, to acknowledge that she sent over 400 men through freaking college. Black men. Over 400 Black men. The numbers are real. The men have spoken about it. She's spoken about it, but you want to die on the hill of, oh, she interviewed some little white boy that slept in Michael Jackson's bed. Here's the thing. Even if Michael Jackson didn't molest that little boy, the little boy was in his bed along with many other white children until they aged out and he switched them out. So it's not like she's completely talking about somebody that's not even attached to these little white boys. No, Michael Jackson himself admitted, he said the most caring thing you could do is give someone your bed, right? And he was in the room with them, mostly little boys. He was attached to little white boys. That is true. So, but people want to die on that hill with Oprah. Oprah's done a lot of amazing things for Black people and Black men. So I commend her for even putting in a word at the studio, like, hey, look, they need a car, they need some extra food, they need some extra ketchup. You want extra ketchup, Taraji? She wants extra ketchup. I commend her for doing that. But I do think the Spielbergs, the Oprahs, and I love me some Oprah. Lily, I love me some Oprah. However, I think they are out of touch.
Yeah.
They're having a very difficult time pivoting, right? The new stars now are podcasters and reality show personalities
TikTokers. Mm-hmm.
and TikTokers. Those are the new celebrities in our current environment. Those are our new celebrities. And all the Oprahs, the Spielbergs, they're having a very difficult time grasping that. They're having an extremely difficult time grasping that and pivoting. And that is why I think The Color Purple Part 2, the musical, was made. Who asked for this? Who wanted it? Was there a survey?
For the life of me, I can't understand how this guy greenlit. I've tried to.
Spielberg, Oprah. I mean, they
Like,
could have greenlit a bottle.
like Spielberg, your audience for that movie is dead, practically. If not, they're in a nursing home. Like, seriously, not trying to be funny, but that's where the audience was at. There's not many people left that are interested in that storyline. So I
And and
know.
and can we also add, seeing The Color Purple once is enough.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't need to be told anymore. It was a classic and it was that time period.
Yeah.
It's wrapped in a bowl. There's
Yes,
nothing else to do with it.
a purple bowl, big old purple bowl. So it's just not one of those films that you want to see a remake of, a musical. I mean, it was on Broadway, the music, it's just, and the story again is so miserable. And that's why I say people are out of touch. But I've had this experience with some of my big wig friends that are in their 50s and 60s. They will not evolve.
Yeah.
And I'm having these conversations with these people. Listen, kids nowadays don't care about X, Y. They don't give a rat's damn about some Color Purple. They want this, they want that, they want the, oh, well, no, I'm going to do it my way. Okay, good luck. Come on, DeMarco, what do you say? The Color Purple flopped. I got some numbers. $100 million budget. $100 million budget, only made $58 million. That's a flop.
That's a hell of a flop.
They owe. Yep.
I'm a little confused. Why did they take $100 million to tell a nigga story? Like a really straight up some slave shit. Why do we need
Because
$100 million for some slave shit?
needed her Grey Poupon, her caviar, and her driver, honey.
That's where the budget went to. Goddamn Taraji.
I'm reading Forbes right now. How the Color Purple rollout became dominated by accusations of low pay and poor conditions. That's some ironic shit. That's some ironic shit. That sounds like some slave shit. And the movie circles around the slave era. She really fucked herself now. She fucked up Oprah's money.
not just Oprah's, but a lot of, it's what, 10 producers? 10 big
Yeah,
ones?
there's a lot of producers on that. So the movie is well oiled.
No, she fucked up Spielberg's money.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
If you had a problem getting work now, sis.
I mean, being on a flop is bad. Starring in a flop is bad enough, but being blamed directly for that shit is like kiss of death. If she didn't want to invest in herself before she opened her mouth, she's going to have to do it now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. She's going to need 50 now.
And that's what I'm talking about. They're out of touch. They're out of touch with the storyline. Nobody cares about that film anymore. It's very miserable. They're also out of touch with these celebrities who have millions of dollars, right?
You know?
These celebrities who have millions of dollars keep wanting us to feel sorry for them while we're watching on our timelines little kids get their heads blown apart. Right? Palestine against Israel. We're watching this, right? There's murder porn everywhere. Krishan Rock is rolling around on the ground. She's the biggest hit on social media.
Tuna's $4. A can of tuna is $4. Like, we don't care.
No, honestly, I think that's one of the main things. The economy is in such a disarray right now. Motherfuckers don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah, no.
Motherfuckers don't want to hear about you crying in your $6 million home
while they're living at home with their mama, watching you online cry about your $3 million home and
$2 million after taxes is what she's crying.
40s, watching you cry.
And here's the thing too. I automatically go to, Halle Berry ain't complaining about her pay.
No, she Halle Berry be chilling. She be on the beach with Van Hunt, smiling like a motherfucker.
Right. So, but my point is, there are obviously Black women who can make that money. So you can't blame it on being a woman or being Black. Halle Berry's not complaining about it. Have you seen her net worth? So let's not pretend that Black women can't make that type of money. However, Halle Berry, gorgeous as she is, can get asses in seats.
Well, she can't act. So it's the other part. I mean, that's my baby, but
who cares about that in this industry? Right. Marilyn Monroe, she was the biggest hit. It's all about it. Listen, it's a cold world around. Like you tell me, dress warm. People that look good just get more. That's it. And Taraji, cute as a button as she is, she's just not a sex kitten. Now they've tried to force her into that sex kitten thing, but it just doesn't stick. It's like throwing spaghetti at the wall that's not done. It's not going to stick.
Yeah, she's just the girl from around the way. That's what everyone likes about Taraji. She just reminds you of the girl, your cousin, your cousin's friend. Like,
I like her as the cousin, Lily.
Right. I keep telling you, man, Black cinema right now, we need Jonathan Majors, man. Him the mosey.
Would you shut up about Jonathan Majors? Would you let it cool off?
It's not going to.
Coretta fantasies.
Listen, all I'm saying, nobody better be coming over to my Tubi. All right, y'all motherfuckers who made millions, stay the way.
You know they running over there. You know they running.
They running right over the Tubi.
50 Cent is taking them. 50 Cent now. What if 50 Cent is taking them? 50 Cent is taking Monique, all the rejects in Hollywood that are Black and complaining about money. 50 wants.
Motherfuckers might be on the phone with Dame Dash right now. You never know.
Yeah, not I, said the cat.
You don't want that dark cloud because
I'll hustle, Haran. I'm okay.
I don't do loser.
I'll tell you one thing.
Motherfucker said it ain't that bad, right?
How, Haran? When Sister Has Sips got 2 million views on it, I want you to show me one video that Dame Dash has posted in the past month. I'm gonna be generous. Look at the past 30 days on his Instagram, and you tell me which one of his videos got 2 million spins. I'm good, baby. I'm good. I'll wait. I'll hustle.
Yeah, well, Vivica say we good over here.
Right. Thank you. Like
I looked at the upcoming content on there, and I was like,
Did you take a peek?
Yeah, I did.
What's over there? Like Tubi stuff?
Phoenix Rising.
Or like 4 shit that probably wouldn't even be on Tubi. They just looked that bad.
Oh.
They look that bad. Like I don't even think they'd be on Tubi.
Yeah.
I even think I think I even think that the execs at Tubi would be like, oh, well, no, we got standards over here. We
Oh
will,
shit.
I
we,
can't. I can't.
No, we got
we
standards
got
over here.
etiquette over here, pal.
What's the what's
So
the what's the reality of what Phoenix Rising posted about Taraji P. Henson rates 574 on the worldwide aggregate box, or what is it? Aggregate box. So damn.
list 15 films as a supporting actress, $2.6 billion. Taraji P ranks number 574 in the worldwide.
Aggregate box. I guess what he's basically saying, the people who basically put asses in seats, you know, I mean, she's 574 the aggregate box office list.
Okay.
I guess I'm gathering that's what it is because they're saying Zoe Saldana ranks 17. I mean, she's been in Zoe, pardon me. She's been in what 2 or 3 fucking blockbuster franchises now.
She's Colombiana.
Yeah,
That movie was crazy, and then
they didn't get a sequel. I was pissed. They didn't get a sequel. Like
yeah, Avatar. Like she was on an interview and she was like, "Oh, I'm good to like the year 20 something crazy because they're gonna keep doing the Avatar, so she's gonna keep getting, she's gonna keep getting paid. I don't like the last Avatar. I watched 10 minutes of it. I was like, no, I'm gone. I'm good.
I mean, it was cool.
Storyline was ridiculous, in my opinion. Like they're making them to the mystique of the avatars not knowing who they, and now they're making them like a regular old sitcom family.
Mm-hmm.
So they took the the grant. Now it's like they got a white kid who hangs out with them.
Yeah, I saw that. At first I was like, that's kind of dope. Then I saw it again. I was like, nah, this isn't.
So it's all like
5 more, and it was just like, nah, James. What you doing?
So this wokeism really has like permeated through Hollywood like that bad because that doesn't match. Like it's been a whole bunch of things. It's just unnatural. It doesn't match, right?
This is the problem. The reason why it gets on people's nerves is that there's a difference between representation and there's a difference between, even I gotta admit, pandering and quote unquote wokeism. Mm-hmm. Like they got white boys who think wokeism is just like Black Panther was wokeism in their minds. Like, no, that's just, a black character for a particular, audience. But when you start throwing in like a bunch of, I'm gonna just say it, a bunch of beautiful, gorgeous, high school girls hanging out with a handicapped person and some green motherfucker, it doesn't make sense because it's like,
where'd you see that?
Like in Marvel movies, I was using as an example. You know what I mean? They'll just throw people like, who might have a disability with some gorgeous people and they're all getting along, and it's like, no, that's not real life. But in other movies, it's the same thing. It's just like that woke shit, like what you just said, like a white kid hanging around with a bunch of blue motherfuckers. Like it just doesn't.
I thought the last Avatar was ass. I was like, I'm not, and you're not gonna get me to sit here for 3 hours for the blue people. The blue people were intriguing when we didn't understand what they were saying, when they were separate. Now, in my opinion, because the white guy, he's blue now. So now there's this little white boy running around with an air helmet because he's a human, so he can't breathe what they breathe there. So he's running around with them, but he got like the dreads, so he looked like he belonged. It's just no. I was like, they made them like a regular family. So now I feel like I'm watching a regular American family, and they are not American. They are Navi. You know what I mean? They're native to their planet. So I was like, yeah, no, you made them like a regular. Like I was expecting him to pull up the. Yeah, I was expecting him to pull up the hatchback and pull out the groceries. I was like, yeah, no.
Yeah, and then like they got like classic characters from way back coming out the closet, and it's just too much. Like it's too much. Like
it was too much. Expendables 3. I know you guys aren't into these things and so on, but in
I
Expendables
was like,
3,
they made it to 3. That's a
Yeah,
lot.
watch the first one.
actually they made it to 4. You know what I mean? Expendables 3, they tried to, now that is an example of some woke shit. They removed all the fucking violence. They made it PG-13. They were dressing in like designer suits. They were looking great. And at the end, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jet Li came out the closet and they were in a relationship. And it just looked weird. It just looked really weird at the end of the movie. And I was just sitting there like, okay, like why did this happen? Not only is this a god awful fucking movie, because I was a fan of the franchise. The first 2 were just super dope. The third one was just like, what the fuck is going on?
So
And yeah,
so let me okay,
that,
so let me say this so we could pivot to the next because we got a lot of little nuggets. Um, let me say this about the Oprah thing, the Color Purple thing, the Steven Spielberg. I'm glad that this happened because it's like a wake up call, it's a slap in the face. Because I guarantee when they were in those meetings, when they were at the script reading, when they were probably going, this is gonna pop. They gonna wait to get a load of another Color Purple, and this is listen, the changing of the tides. Like it's a new world order. This goes to show how freaking out of touch you are. How out of touch you are. This proves it.
yeah,
You know what? 58 million and you spent $100 million.
That's horrible.
that 58 million is usually most likely the people who saw the first one.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
again, like what Lily and I were talking about, it's a Christmas Day
Right.
release. That's a good day, period.
Like I mean, I can't. Oh my God, man. I asked my daughter, I was talking to my kid, I got to sit her down and teach her some things about black leaders. She thought Malcolm X was a president. I was like, what the fuck?
Who?
Like, yeah, my daughter.
Uh,
We were
yes,
having a discussion.
but you know what? Thank you for saying that because that proves that.
No, they don't know anything. They have no connection to that. They have
Yeah,
no.
and it's good.
I know you think it's good.
It's excellent.
I know you think it's great. I know you think it's
You know why. You know
Guess
why.
what?
I'm not gonna go there because
Guess
that's a
what? Guess what? They have no connection to it. They don't know about it. And guess what? They still ain't shit. So now here we are. So what's the point now?
who
They
still
know
ain't.
about none of that shit, and they still ain't shit. They still lazy. They still ain't doing nothing. They still fucked up.
But that's a kid thing. That's a teenager thing, and you have to
Right.
monitor it. So
He's 40 years old and still fucked up. They don't know nothing.
I don't care about the 40-year-olds that are fucked up, Haran. I care about the kids. I don't care about the 40-year-olds. I mean, we see them. They're fuel for the fire to keep our hands warm.
Kids don't know their ass from their elbow, man, and they still
But
degenerates.
that's good because that again, your daughter, my grandbabies are gonna grow up fully fucking confident with nothing stuck in their psyche of oh my god, they killed our leaders back in 1945. Say that again. Say that again.
Rich spoiled kids that's not a bad thing, man.
Yeah, why not? We're moving. Time moves forward,
Yes.
not that way. The Color Purple, that way. It moves.
I mean, in that
this
regard,
way.
though, I mean, to your point, though, all jokes aside, I am happy that people said, like, enough is a slave shit.
Enough.
I'm happy because I was over this shit decades ago.
Me too.
Decades ago, I was over this shit, man.
Yeah,
but
and
they just kept churning it out. They kept churning it out, and we kept showing up.
who the fuck wants to sit? And this is money. Who wants to sit and pay to watch Fantasia's jaw hanging throughout for 3 hours?
Y'all know it's streaming already, right?
What?
Oh, well, good luck.
Christ. Wow.
Good luck. Good luck. So I wanna pivot. Do you remember the brick lady?
The brick lady. Oh yes. I do recall the brick.
She got the Chanel. She got the Chanel bracelet.
Okay, so let's pull up the latest in the brick lady chat. You're going to be maybe surprised by this or maybe not. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe not, but I am going to share the screen. Let's take a look, see what's the latest with the brick lady.
Damn brick lady.
That is her name. The brick lady. Here we go.
To anybody in my life to deserve this. I never did anything in my life to hurt anybody. Literally, a man asked me for my number. I said no, and he picked up a brick in front of so many men and was like, "What you gonna do?" And I told all these men, like, "Yo, why this man got a brick on my face?" And he's holding a brick, and all these niggas is watching, and nobody does nothing. And he hits me in my face, and then they all just watch, and they let that nigga get in a car. How is this okay? This is what y'all doing to women? Have I ever?
Okay, so as you can see, the headline.
Purple.
Okay, so as you can see, hold on a minute, and then we can dissect. As you can see, the headline says, shaking my head, woman who claimed to have been attacked with a brick by a man now charged with faking the entire thing, falsely raised $42,000 on GoFundMe. According to Click to Houston, police have charged Rosa Osman, 33, with felony theft by deception. Osman allegedly raised over $40,000 on GoFundMe by lying to the internet, claiming that she was attacked by a man outside a club in Houston while other men stood by and watched. Osman's video garnered millions of views across social media platforms at the time and sparked debates about whether Black men protect Black women in time of need. While everyone was arguing about the situation on social media, police were actively investigating the incident to figure out exactly what happened to Osman. When she first reported the accident, she told police she believed it was her Uber driver who attacked her. But when she was questioned again, she accused a man named Olin Douglas in the charging documents. Police noted that Osman's story changed multiple times, and when she was asked about the conflicting details, she would become irritated and hang up. Gotcha, bitch.
I just couldn't keep my eyes off the she was just smiling with watermelon with the head wrap.
She's a pretty girl. It's a shame she's crazy.
Jim, you said this. You took what I was thinking out of my head.
Like some slave shit. Like she was the smiling with the watermelon and shit and the head wrap. You know what I mean? But anyway, I was looking at it. I'm like, I mean, okay. So what happened? Like, did they get down to the bottom of it? Like, is it like who? What? Like, where did this shit happen? Like, what happened?
Did she pick up a brick and go?
Yeah, like is this?
Well, someone was saying that she had an allergic reaction to something. That is what the word was. Because when you look at her face, she doesn't have any lacerations. A brick is gonna break something. You're gonna be bleeding some way, somehow. That's a brick.
I don't know. I mean, because allergic responses, they are different, but I'm thinking, if someone's eating something and they're getting some kind of allergic response, the lips will be affected to some degree, but maybe that's not the case in that. I don't know.
It could be a lot of different things.
I mean, but that's a big ass fucking knot. Like, it's a fucking knot.
I mean, we've seen people abuse themselves to prove a point, right? And then we're living in a day and age where attention is currency, but then she got some financial currency on top of it. So there's the incentive. I watch a lot of
like the size of a stick of butter, though. Something like a size of a stick of butter, man. That knot, man. That's I just love I'm just curious of how it really happened, man.
But you remember when we did the show on this, there were a lot of people who came through
and said that she was lying.
Right. They said known for being a troublemaker. They kept insisting that.
They did say that.
And remember, we were saying we during that show we was gonna wait for more to come out because
more didn't come out, but yes. Yes.
No,
I.
but more did, because if she's lying,
Mhm.
then what about the two dudes that were on TikTok, and one dude was there saying that he saw it, okay? And he was like, "Well, what does she want me to do about it?" She was yelling at him. She was yelling at the guy, and then the guy hit her, and that's why he hit her. Remember that guy?
Yep, I remember that guy. Yep.
And he was like, "I'm gonna tell you why she got hit in the face." And after he hit her, she wanted us to jump in. We not jumping in. What about him?
Right. Yeah, it was a lot to that story.
But this is the new world order, and there's the internet, and attention is currency. So now, when crimes do happen, everybody and their mama's just gonna want to jump on it and say it's like the weird people that go to the precinct and take the blame for crimes they didn't commit.
To that,
Yes.
I did it. You know what I mean?
Yes, and that
That's
happens
because
quite
they want to be
often.
synonymous. You know what I mean? With or the people who just become serial killers because they want to go down in history.
Yeah.
So
Copycat killers.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know what I mean, all that. Yeah, all that. So honestly, I think attention has always been somewhat of a drug, but it just scaled thanks to the internet. Everything scaled thanks to the internet. You know what I mean? Weirdos, prostitutes, pimps, you know what I mean? Serial killers, everything just managed to scale exponentially thanks to the internet because you could spread everything. You could spread an idea at just lightning speed, you know, to like miles. You know what I mean? Back in the days, it took you maybe a year or 3 or 5 to have a good old 40 amount in a good old fashioned cult. Took you a good couple of years to build a good old fashioned cult back in the days. Now, shit, you can do that shit in a month if your idea is powerful enough.
True.
But we did, as Sister has said.
Did you mention a million? Did you mention a million?
You mean 2?
2 million.
Oh, I'm sorry. See, that's what happens when you go to sleep.
2 million on one reel. And that's the one we caught. Those are the ones people are sending us because we don't even know how far it's gone. People send us these reels, and they're like, "Hey, you know, you're creating a war on Twitter." I'm like, "No, I'm not on Twitter. I don't know." So a lot of people are going to try to get money this way with fake incidents. I mean, people have been faking they got cancer. People have been faking their kids are sick. It's just, again, it's magnified now because it's so easy to throw out a sob story, and people are seeing like, wow, you guys actually put money in a GoFundMe if I have a good story. Well, shit, it's like, and it's easy because it's at your fingertips. You just sit home and collect money. You're not panhandling for fake with a fake baby on the street. Now you could just do it from your phone. So yeah, she's gonna owe that money now. Yeah. All right. So
Careful, sis.
that's to be more careful. So we here for a good time, not a long time tonight. I want to get to the main topic. Atlanta airport brawl. Fired female employee fights managers. Again, you do what you want with that word female. I know it makes some of you uncomfortable. I don't give a fuck. I'm a female, whatever. Y'all work that out amongst yourselves. This is how it's being reported across a lot of different platforms. Female employee, because they don't know her name yet thus far. So I have the video. It was a young woman got fired from her job at the airport and raised Cain and Abel. Cain brought Abel with him. So let me share the screen for y'all. I was like, baby girl missed her ball.
I caught a little backstory to this too.
Good, because I don't have a backstory.
Yeah.
Good, great, perfect. Ooh, la, la, la.
No, you can walk away. I'll get your fucking stuff.
Get my stuff!
Yes.
Get my stuff!
Get out! Oh, relax.
Bitch, get my
Oh, what the fuck you think you're doing?
No! What's wrong with them? Get my stuff!
You're gonna get constantly.
No! Get my stuff! Give me my bag!
Call the police. Call the walk away, I'll get your fucking stuff.
Get my stuff.
Yes.
Get my stuff.
Hey, get out.
Bitch, get out my.
Oh, what the fuck do you think you're doing?
No, what's wrong with them? Get my stuff.
You call police?
No. Get my stuff. Give me my bag.
Call the police. Call the police. Call the police.
Get off of me. Hold on, let me call. Get off of me.
Somebody's on the phone with the police, right?
Get off of me.
Somebody's on the phone with the police, right?
Yeah, I'm on the phone with the police.
No.
Okay. Well, baby girl hops, huh? Can't say black people aren't athletic. Between her and that guy that jumped the judge,
That jumping right there.
I want them on the American team at the Olympics. I don't know about you, but I will.
Well, you know, when we're hyped up off of adrenaline, I mean,
So,
Yeah.
far as the backstory is concerned, because when you went through the comments, people were very confused about her things, her trying to get to her things, and why didn't he just give her things, right? Especially, you know, the black community, they just saw a white man put his hands on, in the optics of that. That's all, you know, blacked out, right? So that's what you were seeing in the comments. So apparently, what had happened was she got into a fight with another employee behind that counter. Okay. It looked like some type of Starbucks situation. So, you know, that's like really small back there. So she was immediately fired and asked to leave. That's why the guy said, I'll get your things, because her things were next to the person she was fighting. And the
Right.
manager was trying to keep the situation diffused. That's what was going on. Because everybody was like, he just gave her things, you know.
you know what would happen, right? Most likely, if he went over there and let her go get her things, she probably would have snuck in a fucking jab or two, you know, because look, I say that not like you know, judging her, no, because I would have done it at her fucking age. I have done it. Be like, nah, let me just go get my shit. You know what I mean? And then you know what I'm saying? Me sneaking a little, you know, me 1, 2, then grab his shit and then keep it pushing. But you know, she look, optics of it, you know, we're always just, you know, always obsessed with the optics. Now, if that was a black woman who was the manager and that was a young white male and they got into it, you know, I mean, I'm pretty sure the optics would have been different and they would have sided with the black woman. But the point of the matter is that these things are always triggering for, you know, black people, man. You know, they never look at it from a critical, you know, perspective and so on. Yes, I did hear this gentleman said, I'll get your things. He never said you can't have your things. He never said that. He said, I'll get it.
So are we back at you said black people are triggered by that visual, right?
Yes.
Are black people triggered to the point where of what's the word? What word can I use? Are black people triggered to the point, I don't feel like thinking tonight, to the point of ridiculousness?
Absolutely.
Are black people triggered to the point of ridiculousness?
Yes.
Right? Because we watched her attack everybody in there.
Mm-hmm.
She attacked everybody in there. She's grabbing weapons. She's picking up chairs. She grabbed everybody in there. White guy throws her on the floor and it's like, oh, Jesus, Black Lives Matter. Let's march quickly. So are black people triggered to the point of ridiculousness? And this is why I am, sorry, Haran, going back to teaching them since they're little, the white man is the enemy. And the white, whenever you see a white man, that's the devil. That's the enemy. The white man gonna try to hold you back, right? You keep putting that in their head and putting that in their psyche and putting that in their head. Then you have idiots in comment section say, that white man assaulted her. Those are the comments I saw. Literally. Literally. Those black people all in the comments. That arrest that white man. He assaulted that innocent black child. He assaulted her. Did you see? Did everybody see that? He assaulted. So I'm like, do you get triggered to the point of ridiculousness where you completely omit? This girl was acting like a bat out of hell.
That's a mongrel, a fucking mongrel.
Right. Now it's cute that we would have done it too at that age, but guess what? We would have been wrong too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We would have been wrong too.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I just think that it's absolutely ridiculous. And here's what I find quite interesting. And I scrolled and I scrolled and I scrolled. You know us, we do our research. No one mentioned that she assaulted the black man.
No.
Right. No one mentioned that.
Waiting for someone to say that.
Nope. They don't see that. And this is why this is why I don't take people's complaints and outrage seriously. I can't. I don't, because of things like that, right? Like, people are so dogmatic at this point where they will ignore all evidence and just focus on things that prove and validate their whatever.
I'm sorry, Lily. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, I that's why I was just like, there's a lot here that is not being discussed for people who are supposed to be so outraged, right? But this is why I stopped affiliate. Like, I don't like the labels thing because of stuff like this, because people just start doing, like, they just thought, okay, I'm queer, so I have to agree with everything that all queer people do, and I'm black, so anything that's done to me is because they're racist. And like what someone said here, that Kari said that they was in the comment section saying people were saying that white man was, oh, he couldn't wait to do this, I couldn't wait for the day to do this. And it's just like, he's just a person that has to pay his bills. He showed up to work.
He was getting attacked.
Right.
A person who was getting attacked. It was mind-boggling to me. No one mentioned that black man getting hit in the face, also getting attacked, and how he kept his composure after getting slapped or punched, whatever it was she did to his face, but it turned his face. It was hard enough to where he turned his face. It's commendable. I think out of all the melee, the star of this is that black man.
No one said that. No one said anything.
He is the star of that entire chaos. Kept his composure.
That shit real smooth too. Took that
my God. Took the chair like it was nothing. And with him doing that, he protected, right, the other employees.
Yeah.
Okay. She was taking advantage of, okay, I could fuck with this little old white man. I could beat on him. I could jump on him. She knew she couldn't with the black man because he just took the chair from her like it was nothing and he pushed her to the side. But the way he kept his, I don't know what that man reads, does, or eats, but I want to know.
That.
Yeah, I need that too. I need that level of Rengekyo, because I don't know how he did it with that wild banshee or mongrel, them little things, them little rabbit things, right? I watched the Animal Planet. I know them long ones.
Right.
You gotta like freaking strangle them so they stop. And I was just like, I was really, really disgusted. And I said, see this? I'm gonna go deeper. See that, pause. See this? This is why that law that's being passed in Florida is very, very necessary. And the law I'm talking about is the law that now you can sue when someone tries to fuck with your life, calling you a homophobe and racist. I think that law should move expeditiously throughout the United States of America because a lot of people are crying wolf. If you can look at that, And the only thing you get from it is this white man was racist and look at him assaulting the black woman, then that law has to be in place. If you know what I'm talking, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go look up the law.
Or to the very
Law
least,
has to be in place because these motherfuckers will get in the comments or get on a job or see you somewhere, right? And you can tell them, excuse me, can you not do that? Can you not stand there? You're racist. You're racist. It's because I'm black. It's because you're racist. Or it's because you're homophobic. It's because no, you gotta start suing them motherfuckers. You must stop them. They are a fucking mob of idiots and they think it's cute. Okay. And they overextended their hand and they think they could just cancel whoever they want and throw shit at people. And now they're getting sued. And I don't know why it's not across the United States of America, why it's just Florida. It needs to be everywhere. It needs to be everywhere. If you can look at that and only take from it that white man assaulted that black woman while she's acting that way, as abusive as she was.
well, I'm gonna just say right here, these situations, and people might feel like I'm stretching it, but no, I think just at the core of it, it's cancel culture, and the extensions of it are, yes, racism, transphobia, homophobia, the Me Too movement. And when I'm saying these things, I'm talking about false allegations and these things used to weaponize against people so they can manipulate a situation. Are there real racist moments? Yes. Are there real transphobic moments? Yes. You know what I mean? Is there real Me Too shit out there going on? Yes. But however, yes, I do agree that it should be put in the context of proving murder, meaning you should be able to prove that this happened without a reasonable doubt, that this person was behaving in a malicious manner because you are a person of a particular, group. Now, if you calling a motherfucker racist because you came home and you saw a bird and cross on your lawn, hey, you got a case on your hands. You know what I mean? But if you're calling someone racist because they told you, hey, could you move your suitcase over a little bit so I can push my suitcase next to yours in the airport? You know what I mean? And you call this motherfucker a bleeding racist because you feel that they're infringing on your space. Yeah, it's a little much.
And correct, someone said in the chat, he threw her to the ground because she was attacking him.
Right. Like, what do people expect? I think because he's a white man, they want him to stand there and take the punches for their anger, for their shit, right? It's the same thing as whenever a man comes out and talks about a sexual crime being done to him, they only care about who's the homosexual. Like, they only want to start the witch hunt to hunt down the homosexual. They never mention the crime. They don't care about the crime. They only care about certain things. And so I feel like this is one of those types of situation for people who are saying that. I'm thinking okay, I'm thinking because he's a white man, they just want him to stand there and take the punches for 400 years of slavery.
Right.
But he's a Starbucks manager. He's not a slave owner. He's just a manager at Starbucks.
Oh, damn. I forgot. If you want to support the show, Cash App on the block with Jen scrolling at the bottom, or Super Chat me, fellas. Helps mama keep the street lights on. I pulled up this comment. Buffalo Mind says, at what point does the person have the right to defend oneself, take action against wildness? She was crazed, trying to go somewhere she was asked not to, and yelling at everyone, striking them. Come on. I mean, common sense. So I wanted to read really quickly what this bill, it says you could soon be fined for defamation for calling someone racist in Florida. Florida Republican lawmaker has introduced a bill that would make it defamation to accuse someone of racism, sexism, homophobia, or transphobia, a measure that would deal a devastating blow to freedom of speech in the Sunshine State. The bill, which was introduced Friday, would make it much easier for someone to sue another person for defamation. The measure states that an allegation that the plaintiff has discriminated against another person or group because of their race, sex, sexual orientation, or gender identity constitutes defamation per se. Proving actual malice is one of the main requirements of a successful defamation case. And this bill would make that easier, setting up conditions for a fact finder to automatically infer that actual malice took place after an accusation of discrimination. In cases of alleged homophobia or transphobia, defendants charged with defamation are not allowed to use the plaintiff's religious or scientific beliefs as part of their defense. If they are found liable for defamation, the defendant could be fined at least $35,000. The bill applies to statements made in print, on television, on social media. It also states that someone who is caught in a viral video engaging in an allegedly discriminatory behavior does not qualify as a public figure, giving those people even more grounds to sue. Finally, the bill removes certain journalistic privileges, particularly the right to keep sources anonymous. Statements from anonymous sources would be considered presumptively false. Remember, Diddy was sued recently by someone who remained anonymous, making journalists reporting on discrimination vulnerable to lawsuits. More attempts to chill free speech in the free state of Florida. Democratic State Representative Anna Eskamani tweeted about the measure. The bill was introduced by State Senator Jason Burdeur, who, despite claiming he wants to protect free speech, has taken aim at the right to free speech multiple times in 2023. He introduced a bill that would require paid bloggers who write about elected officials to register with the state. Such a registry of political writers, independent journalists would have allowed for increased surveillance. I'm sorry, I'm with this. I don't give a damn what this man said. I'm with this. I am absolutely with this. I applaud it and I hope it spreads all the way across, up and down the United States of America. These motherfuckers are using these accusations as a fucking sword, not a shield. Most of them are lying, okay? Most of them are fucking lying about this shit because attention is currency. And they think they could just fuck with people's lives by yelling out one fucking word. And I think it's absurd. I think it is out of control. So I'm all for this bill. And I hope it spreads all over.
I feel you on that. I've been with people before, both. I've been with trans people and I've been out with Black people. And this is not all trans people I've been out with, or all Black people, but I've had these experiences where I'm out with them. An example like Haran just gave, someone brushes past us, or the waitress, forgets to bring us salt, but she brings us the pepper, right? And it becomes a thing about racism or transphobia. And it's so embarrassing, but for me, I'm like, that shit makes it harder for someone like myself. I reserve those words for actual times, right? And to be real, it's not much. Like, for my experience, it really isn't that many times that really happens. Most of the time, it's just an asshole.
Yes.
That's really all it is. It's just an asshole, right? And for me, my line is violence or feeling physically threatened. That's my particular line, because I can't stop someone for being transphobic or being racist. I can't stop. They have the fucking right. You just don't have the right to touch me. You don't have the right to threaten me or anything like that. So for people to use it because they didn't get butter or whatever, now the words have been diluted. No one really cares anymore when you say these things.
Nah, they don't. And as I was saying earlier, I'm used to our racists when we were growing up. Like, those were the OG racists, motherfuckers who would kill you for being, different. The people that would do, like I say, nigger, get off my lawn. People who would say these things. It was clear where the line was, and now we have this thing where people are just grabbing as many weapons as they can in order to one up the other person, whether it's sexism, racism, this, that, and the third. Kari, I don't think Florida is protecting racists. I think Florida is forcing those who feel they've been victimized to come up with a better argument.
Prove it. Literally, that is what I just read. They want you to prove it. And it's a law that would also protect If it was here or wherever you are, Kari, it would also protect you.
Right.
A woman couldn't just be able to say, he walked past me and touched my ass and ruin your whole career and your livelihood and your life.
Oh, I had an incident when I first moved here. I went to the doctor, and the doctor, because it's you'll see my government name, like when I was in the process of switching everything. So she accidentally called me my old name, and she was like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And I'm just like, whoa, ma'am, calm down. Like, I'm not that girl. But the fact that it put that type of fear in this woman, and all she's trying to do is her job sincerely, and she made a sincere mistake. If I was that other girl, yeah, her job could have been in jeopardy. And I just didn't like that she was like, that she was put into that position, because there are people who are genuinely trying to be allies, trying to get it right, trying to educate themselves. None of us, I'm in these communities, and I can't even keep up with all the changes and addendums and amendments that go on, right? So yeah, I don't like that. I'm glad that people are starting to finally do something about this.
Agree. I still don't have my Mazel Tov video, but the Jews have entered the chat.
Yeah, they were.
David Dillon says, saw a question a few days ago asking if anti-Semitism is included in this bill. I don't know. In the article I just read, it didn't mention anti-Semitism, so I don't know. I can't confirm nor deny. However, again, listen, I don't got a beef with the Jews at all in this country. What kills me about people that have beef with the Jews in this country is not abuse or racism or anything, is that they own every fucking thing. They own every fucking thing, and they run every fucking thing. That to me is not enough for me to hate them or think that. No, they fucking hustled their way. They finagled their way, however they did it. And people are just mad that they're at the top. So if you're mad that they're at the top, you get your ass to the top. But you're not going to do that because you're going to complain about everybody stopping you from getting to the job. You're too busy talking about who's stopping you, who's redlining you, who's pausing you at the bank, who's not giving you a loan. You're too busy doing that. And I'm not saying that because those things aren't in place. I'm saying that those things are in place, and people have ran, Black people have ran past all that bullshit and are hugely successful. So the jig is up. They already proved that you can do it.
Look, listen, man. To get upset with a group of people because they own everything, you'd have to really look at yourself. Like, are you really upset because they own everything? Or are you more so upset because you own nothing? That's the other half of it. You have to really look at yourself and ask yourself that question. And if it is the latter, then you have to ask yourself, well, why are you always in a situation where you have less than this particular group? And you got to take it up with your people. Look, man, like, this world, the universe, as much as so many people might think otherwise, the universe has no favorites. The universe has no favorites, because at the end all be all, us as a species will die off eventually. Okay, so we are not even the favorites of the universe. We might be replaced by something else. I don't know, but the universe has no favorites, and as long as we're all here and we're all moving in the space of a social system, there will be those at the top and those at the bottom. It's your choice where you want to be. And if you believe, wholeheartedly believe, subconsciously, that you are where you are, and it's not at the top, and it's because of what you look like, then you're right. I don't believe that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I believe that I'm not at the top because I ain't hit that lick yet. I didn't work hard enough yet on certain things. I'm real enough with myself that to say that, okay, I didn't put the work in this particular area enough yet. And I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go out there and get mine.
Thank you, David Dillon, for that question. That was a good question, by the way. Salute to you, Big Daddy Stovepipe. So, you know, piggybacking off of what you said, Ron, there was a video. You guys have all seen it. It's been around for years. The guy that retired from Burger King after 27 years. And his gift was a plastic bag with some lifesavers, 2 pens, a sticker, a ticket for something, a movie or something like that, and some other lanyard or some other sticker or something. And everybody, in the comments are really pissed off that this man worked for Burger King for 27 years. And that's all he got after retiring. And I was like, this man knew where he was going for 27 years. What makes you think that wasn't the light of his life? What makes you think that that's what he was comfortable doing? That man has the same 24 hours as every other human being. He chose to spend it going to Burger King every morning. And what's laughable to me, Haran, is since social media, there's an illusion that everybody's supposed to be wealthy and everybody's supposed to be treated fair and everybody's supposed to be treated like they're beautiful and everybody's supposed to be treated like they're smart and everybody's supposed to be treated like they're productive. When since the beginning of time, since Adam and Eve, and I use that loosely because I don't believe in that fucking story, okay? I think it was an analogy, a metaphor. But everybody ran with it and they really think that there was a man and a woman in a fucking desert and a snake came down from a tree. Fine, great. Let's go with your story.
And they had 2 sons, but magically we're all here. But anyway,
yeah. Right. So since the beginning of time, there have been the haves and the have-nots, and the have-nots trump the haves since the beginning of time. Anywhere in history, from Egypt to here, there were the Egyptians that were being taken care of and very light skinned, and then the slaves that were very dark because they out in the sun all the fucking time. That has been around since the beginning of time, since your Adam, your Eve, and your snake. All of a sudden, fast forward to the 2020, the pandemic hit. Everybody's sitting at home in their computer and they think they're all equal to everybody else, when since the beginning of time, there have been the haves and the have-nots, and the have-nots have always trumped the haves. Always. Forever.
We're here because of that. If there was never a system, hear me, if there was never a system where there were haves and have-nots, there wouldn't be any incentives for the have-nots to become haves. Most people, yes, old money, you know what I mean? At some point in time, if you go as far back as you can, it started out with somebody being a have-not. Okay? Whether it was the 1900s, 1800s, and that scaled all the way up now, and that becomes old money. You know what I mean? They start out with fucking money. You know what I mean? Somebody down the line didn't have any money. Somebody down the line said, fuck that shit. I'm going to go be a fucking have. And now you have a DuPont. Now you have a Rockefeller. Now you have a fucking, you know what I mean, Rothschild. You know what I mean? People don't understand it. They just think, rich people just, I don't know, they just are made in some sort of lab and they just come into the world and they're rich. And they have an 800 credit score and they're immediately worth at least $500 million. You know what I mean? If people really sit down and think for a second, and this goes for black people too, who there have been rich black people, there are old money black people out there, you know what I mean, so on and so forth or whatever. You know what I mean? People love to brandish this whole, Black Wall Street thing. Well, yeah, I guess at one point in time, somebody was a have-not and they became a member of Black Wall Street, whatever. Do your research. But the point of the matter is this, if you want to be at a particular section in the world, you know what I mean, you need some sort of incentive. It is human nature, and the incentive pushes innovation. The incentive breeds competition. The incentive pushes things. If it's all about socialism, there's no incentive. There's no incentive. And then people get lazy, and then people do dumb shit. And this is what the internet is. It's just this socialistic system where everyone's beautiful, everyone's tall, everyone deserves this, everyone deserves to be that. And our internal human nature, our innate human nature is starting to fight back now, because the concept of that is going to destroy us. The concept of that is directly, opposite to our nature. So now we're having fucking laws where it's like, no, man, you got to prove that this motherfucker is a racist. No, I don't want to do this anymore. No, I don't want to hang out with you. No, fuck you. Like, we're starting to get real again because guess what? This is who we are. This is who you are. As much as you want to create, this is why in my idea, I'm gonna land a plane here. This is why the idea of heaven is bullshit to me. No way in hell anyone can exist in any system where everyone's equal. It's no fucking way. It's no absolute way. Like I'm a regular dude who just died, and I come up in here and I'm equal to an angel who was already there, and he put in the work with God or whatever, and we're on the same length. It just doesn't make. I'm making a joke, but doesn't make any fucking sense. I'll land the plane on that.
Right. And I want to say this with the illusion of inclusion, with the illusion of we're all equal because we can all get on these keyboards and talk to each other, and we, obese women can claim that they're beautiful and healthy. What I mean? People that have no money can act like they have money. There's so many things, right? That we say social media leveled the playing field, right? Celebrities aren't even celebrities anymore. You could talk to these motherfuckers online. They'll answer. They'll get in your DMs. They're completely accessible. Celebrities never were accessible. When we look at the Jewish people and things like that, and the haves and the have-nots, and that's how life has been since the beginning of time. Even in the animal kingdom, there's the haves and the have-nots. If you look at Chimp Empire on Netflix, they're the haves and the have-nots. It doesn't ants, the haves, it doesn't matter, birds, pigeons, the haves, and someone will push you out of nest if you're the weak bird and take your damn nest, right? So that is just the nature of every living thing, right? When you get diseases in your body, what do? They go kill the good cells, right? That is the nature of every single living thing. You leave a tomato in your fridge too long, the fucking mold will just eat that motherfucker up, right? That is the nature of things. But I want to share this with everybody watching. The have-nots trump the haves, and they are massive. The population of have-nots have always been massive in the beginning of time. They tend to forget that they don't have within them what it takes to be a have. They don't have the drive. They don't have the ruthlessness. They don't have the dedication. They don't have the determination. They have a God that's supposed to be helping them every now and then and looking out for them, right? And if you want to see what I'm talking about, you go in a church, and it's funny that they don't understand this, speaking of religion, because when you sit in the church, there are 5,000 people in the congregation and one big rich motherfucker on stage. So how do you not understand that you have to be fucking manipulative, ruthless, promise shit that ain't real, lie, cheat, steal? I read a book called Imagine There's No Heaven. It literally talks about how religious leaders are atheists.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They're atheists. They don't believe in the God that they're telling you about. You can't serve two masters. They about their money, the tithes, who's coming in, who's paying for the jet, who's paying for my mistress, who's paying for this new Bentley, who's it? Those people are not godly, but yet you sitting in the congregation looking at a rich motherfucker that wouldn't give you a dime, not dime one, okay, of their money. But this is how it's been since the beginning of time. The motherfuckers that are willing to spill blood and bleed are the ones that get it all. So I don't know where this idea came from on social media, where not everybody's equal. The obese women are just as fine as the models. Like, where did this come from? You're not made. The population of the have-nots, you don't have it in you to fight and bleed and lie and cheat and steal and manipulate to be one of the haves. So how fucking dare you get on these machines and act like you are? How dare you? You lazy fucks, your whole life is on a keyboard. Your entire life on a keyboard.
Mm-hmm. Going back to what you guys said yesterday, I caught the replay. It's very, by the way, very good topic. Plastic surgery being shit went left once plastic surgery became affordable.
Yes.
Yeah, shit really went left once plastic surgery became affordable. If you notice, when you needed to have Elizabeth Taylor and Michael Jackson money to get your fucking face chopped up.
True.
that shit wasn't really, that shit wasn't really a thing. You know what I mean? But once the little Kims and the ones who didn't even have as much money as her were able to dip in shit and put shit in their ass and so on and so forth, what happened? Motherfuckers saw an opportunity to become a have if they altered their body. That's all that shit fucking was. Don't give me that bullshit. No, you wanted to create a certain, you wanted to create a person, a certain vision that would attract a certain kind of guy from a certain, who had a certain, dollar amount, and you wanted to get with him, live the kind of life you wanted, you know what I mean, without having to do a thing.
Well, attract many guys so they get paid.
Absolutely.
Attract many guys.
Absolutely. So this was a money grab. Let's call it what it fucking is. You know what I mean? Not as like, no, I want to see, but like this bull fucking shit.
Because they're not doing it for romance. These girls like shopping much more than they like belonging to a man. That's another thing. These women would trade in. If you look at the average woman, they would trade in that. Oh, I love him. They would trade in that motherfucker for a day of a shopping spree with a 50 cent.
Listen,
they would trade him in.
They'll trade it in for a shopping spree with Little Duval. Okay, let's just call it what it is. It don't even got to be 50. I think we're stretching it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit, it could be, it could be anybody.
And this is they get mad at Lori Harvey because she has the access to be able to do that.
And the whole, but the whole point of it is this. You know what I mean? More times than not, anytime the have-nots get an opportunity to become a have, what do? They fucking take it. Of course you fucking took it. You're a fucking human being. You saw an opportunity to grab some fucking power and you fucking took it. Don't give me this story and this bullshit sanctimonious shit. No, you saw it. You fucking took it. That's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? But somebody told you that if you did do that, you're selfish and it's supposed to be some sort of, genuine connection. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. You know what I mean? But with these girls, all that stuff that they did to themselves, their bodies are fighting back now.
Yeah.
Their bodies are fighting back because this is like, yo, what's all this shit? This is
no, I mean, when you look at their faces, they have to keep going back, and that's how they end up looking like masks because their face, I don't know what kind of surgery they're getting, but it's cheap. We know it's cheap. It's inexpensive. You see their faces morphing back. You see their faces like morphing back, and then they go back, and then you see them swole on a couple of interviews, then it dies down. The lips get small again, and they go back and they get more injections, then it dies down. It's a very bizarre thing, but the body, the work they're getting done for some reason is not being sustained or maintained, and the body is fighting to, no, this is what you look like. This is what your nose, this is what your mouth, what are you doing to me? What are you doing to me? So Abby has a great comment there because that's usually how the have-nots think. Ooh, it's so greedy and evil. Is it? Is it? Or is it some people are better at surviving than others? Is it greedy and evil? If you had the opportunity to do something or say something or be something and create generational wealth for your family, who wouldn't take that? You think you're going to be moral? Oh, no. I want $50 million.
So what's buying like 50 lottery tickets? That's not greedy and evil? It's not greedy?
Yeah. She said church, but it's the same thing. Here's the thing. You got to charge it to the game. I don't get mad at the player. Get mad at the game. That guy knew, if you're talking about church, that guy knew that he could stand on a stage and read some old dusty book to you and tell you and a couple quotes. He doesn't even have to know the whole book. Just a couple really catchy quotes about your life. Very Shakespearean. If you read Othello or the 12th Night, same shit in there. Same life lessons in there. Othello is a hell of a life lesson. Same life lesson, same character, same dialogue, same style, same language. You know what I mean? And he decided he's just going to read not from the book of Shakespeare, from the book of Jesus Spear, and stand up there and tell you sing a couple catchy tunes, tell you a couple catchy quotes. And he knew that you would line his pockets. And I'm saying you in general, right? When we look at somebody who's greedy and evil standing at the head of a church, Play on, player. That's what I say.
Look, listen, I could have been a godless preacher, you know what I mean? But I said, like, nah, that's not my thing. Now, did I judge the other preachers? No, that's their
Well,
thing.
they're entertainers. I
They
really
are
do not.
entertainers.
Yeah, I really don't see it, Lily, any different than a rapper on stage in an arena.
That's how I look
Really
at it.
is really
It's
is
a
not
Sunday
that
morning.
much of a difference.
No, it's a Sunday morning show. That's all it is. I entered into the entertainment industry via gospel music. It ain't no different because I used to have to go to all the mega churches around the world and stuff like that.
Did
It's
you?
no. No. I manage. I work for a managed company.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
about to say, let me find out we got more talent because there's money to be made, honey.
No. No. I work for a management company, and it was just wild, the stuff that I saw. Like, and so I learned then. But see, the other thing I learned, and is that people actually like to be scammed, and they will fuck you up if you come in between them and being scammed.
But
So,
not.
because I used to be like that too, Abby. I used to be like, oh my God, this is evil. This is blah, blah, blah. But then I realized, like, no, this is what they want. Because I have tried. I used to be. I'm not that girl no more. But I used to be that girl who was like, oh my God, you're being scammed. Don't listen to them. Don't fall for it. And man, I done got my ass handed to me so many times. Not one person was like, thank you. Thank you for saving my money. Not one person. but then the scam always comes out later on, and they don't even come back then and say, hey, you were the one that's trying to keep me from spending all my money. Like, they want to be scammed.
That's a great point. They never thank you for it. They hate you for it.
Yes.
Black Lexicon. Well, shit, I have, honey.
I
Black
think
Lexicon said I haven't met any millionaire I ever wanted to be like outside of my own. Shit, I met many I wanted to be like. I don't know what you talking about.
I think the defining concept is faith. There are those who have faith in themselves, and there are those who need to have faith in something else.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the defining mechanism. Those who have faith in themselves, those who have I think that's why a lot of people think that those who have the ability to rise the ranks and do so and whatever, they're godless and they suck devil dick and they're part of Illuminati.
That was the get you. Shit.
You know what I'm saying? They're part of the Illuminati and all that seance shit because they have so much. Because most of them have a deep seated belief in themselves, and you're not supposed to. You're supposed to have this deep seated belief in something outside of you. So you're supposed to believe something is bigger than you, and if you don't have that, then you can't. You're godless, and you have no morals, and you can only look if your entire moral compass is based on what's going on externally. That means you need to be policed, which makes me look at you real funny. Like you're only going to behave yourself if you think someone's watching you. Like you're only going to do the right thing if someone's looking at you. If there's some sort of consequence attached.
And that's why I don't feel sorry. Listen, this guy on my Facebook page earlier was like, I was talking about, I don't forgot what the topic was, but he was like, basically, he needs a woman in his life to keep him grounded. And I said, "Ooh, that's risky, buddy. You have to be extra careful. If you're being grounded by someone else, then you have to pick very, very wisely when you're picking a woman. Because if you're going to be that vulnerable to a woman grounding you, she'll destroy your whole shit. And then you'll be on a red pill chat throwing Andrew Tate $50.
Mm-hmm.
Because she did whatever she wanted to do with you. But people do need things outside of themselves to keep them grounded. They do.
They do.
You know, I think that's a topic. A lot of these men in this mindset because women are their god.
Ooh.
I think that's a topic within.
It is a topic. It is because Yeah, let's put
Yeah,
that one down.
we need to explain.
They sure do act like we forsaken them.
Mhm.
Because if you hear all these things, it sounds like this mother or God left you out in the wilderness and so on and so forth. Like
Let me
it's a very peculiar thing.
Now, ain't nothing wrong with a millionaire. Ain't nothing wrong getting some money now. Get your money. Get your get your money. Get
Shit,
your
man,
money.
million. Shit, I could go with 30,000 right now, nigga. Like,
Right. Get your money. Get your money. And if you can't, if you ain't got no money, you can't help nobody. Yeah, you just can't. You can help so many people when you have money. You really can. So, I'm sticking to yeah. All right, guys, that is our show for this evening. Tonight was short and light. We just want to share some current events with y'all. We will be back mañana. Thank you for being here. Cash App on the Block with Jen. Watch Sister Hit Sips. Go to YouTube. Watch Sister Hit Sips. It's CIS. You guys know where to find us. Okay. I think one of the fastest growing shows on freaking YouTube. Millions and millions of spins in just a couple months. You're going to start seeing us everywhere. We're going to start traveling with it, y'all. So get us while the prices is low. And I'm not kidding. We have our first event coming up very soon. All right, guys. So good night. And see ya mañana. Hit the like and subscribe on the way out. Good night. Hit the like and subscribe on the way out. Good night, chat. Thank you for all your comments. Cannot do this without you. Good night.